Hi everyone, Kevin here. What you are about to watch is a carefully planned and executed prank against me. What was meant to be the episode 3 recording of the podcast was hijacked by Bilal and our friends to surprise me for my birthday. So watch to the end to see my reaction. This is not episode 3, and Bilal, best keep one eye open. Start this off. On 3 but no 3.
On 3 but no 3.
1, 2.
Beautiful.
Hi Bilal.
Hi. I can't say I've missed you because we've only just recorded a supplemental, but I've still missed you.
Still great to see you.
You stood up and walked away for a second, then you came back.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 3 of season 2 of the Badgered podcast. My name is Bilal. This is my co-host Kevin. And we're really excited to get into a new episode of this with our fabulous fans who have been listening to these episodes of Badgered. And I'm going to start off, Kev, by doing something that I didn't do at the start of our last episode, which is acknowledge country. And we are on the same country here today as we were as in episode 2, but different to episode 1 when we were on Boromodigal clan land. Here, and in episode 2, we're on Darug land.
Correct.
And I just want to acknowledge First Nations Australians, always was Aboriginal land, always will be Aboriginal land. And I'm really, really excited to be here on country today with my friend. How you been?
Not too bad. A little bad.
Quickly.
I quickly realized the crashing weights of reality. As you can see on my screen, that's my assignment.
I had a question about it, yeah.
So
It's giving me anxiety just looking at it.
I was fixing up my references. And the thing is, this isn't due for another maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But if you might call back to the previous episode, I will be doing my land heights examination soon for my numeracy.
Yep.
Which is, and I wanted to give myself time to study for that as well. So I was trying to get this out of the way and then start prepping for my literacy.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
This is your last assignment for summer school?
Yes.
Now, at the, I think, tail end of, or maybe the beginning of last episode, we were saying that it might be fun for the land height stuff to get me to try to do one of the tests too. And we haven't spoken about when our next recording will be, but I'm still down to do that.
Yeah.
So
I think even if we don't record until after I do my test, I still think it's be a pretty funny thing to.
So I'm keen whenever you want me to.
Yeah.
I will embarrass myself with mathematics whenever someone asks me to.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the very end of last episode, something that you didn't do is you didn't tell me what's been badgering you.
Yes.
And you promised that you would start this episode
Yes.
with that. So can you please tell me what's been badgering you, Kev?
And to make up for my lack of an answer last episode, I want to give a few. All right.
I forgive you already. Tell me.
First one is related to my assignment. So for this unit I'm taking in summer school, I had 2 assignments, both weighing 50%.
Essays?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much essays. And I did my first one, and I passed, right?
Congratulations.
But the feedback just really annoyed me.
Okay.
And basically it ties down to why the hell do I have to find sources for assignments?
Yeah.
Or not necessarily finding sources, but for like they always stress that if you make a claim, you have to find a source to back it up.
Yeah.
Even though it's just it's common sense. Why do I need to? It's just it's like duh.
Yeah,
why do I don't know. It really
So you mean that
me.
you feel like the process of finding sources to back up a claim makes sense sometimes?
Yes.
But that it's kind of overused?
Yeah, because sometimes in one of my assignments when I was writing, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I don't need to find a source for this. I was like, and the kind of make sure you have a claim here. Claim for what? It's just
It's stuff that you feel is common knowledge.
Yeah, common knowledge, or it's stuff that you're teaching. It's stuff that you're teaching me. Why do I need to source something that you taught me?
Oh, so part of the frustration is that the person who's asking you to do it, they're the ones who told you that information.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want me to just be like, because you said so?
Do you want me to just bloody cite the lecture or whatever? So that was annoying.
I want to apologize to any academics who might be listening to this, although I do not think that is our target audience. I love you regardless if you are. That is, I feel like your entire existence as an academic is doing the thing that you just described. You would hate that job.
Yeah.
You just back up everything.
I'm cut out for that.
It's not the only part of that job, but it's a big part
To
of
be
it.
fair, I haven't even completed my first year yet. So I've only done 1 semester that I'm doing summer school. Maybe I'll learn to love the process. going on.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
So yeah, they did that.
And also like just okay, no, I was
just gonna say they did that, and then they inserted rage into your heart. How did you respond?
I just ignored it. Because the annoying thing is, sorry, now that it's going on again. So I got a pretty good GPA for my first semester, and it was mostly because I did really well in my psychology.
Yep.
You know, I got like 90 something.
Yeah.
And that really brought up my GPA. But this is now gonna go into bring it down a bit. Which at first I wasn't like.
I was gonna
I
ask
didn't
you
care
why
about it,
do you care?
but because I got to go, I was like, okay, let's see if I can keep
it started
up.
good.
Yeah, it started good. But that's not happening. And also because I got this GPA, I got this weird email inviting me to be in some sort. It's called the Academy. Have you heard of it? Because we went to the same.
Oh, I went to the same uni that you go to now. The Academy.
Yeah, it's some.
Might have not been the thing when I was at that uni. It'll show how old I am. It wasn't called WSU. It was UWS.
Yeah.
So there was a huge rebranding and everything. So I don't think that existed.
Yeah. So what it doesn't matter, but it's like I think it's some weird program for people with high GPAs.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that kind of boosted my ego.
Yeah, like, oh no, I'm gonna get kicked out of this thing that I didn't know existed until they told me it existed, and I didn't care about until now I care about it.
Anyway, that's just my uni.
I love it. I mean, these What's Badgering You and our next segment that we'll do in a little bit, Waffle Wednesday, is just my excuse to get to catch up with my friends. So this is something that I appreciate listening to.
This next thing that's been badgering me.
Tell me.
Hypothetically, let's say you and I are at an event. Right? We're both at the same event. What is something you think that I would do that would annoy other people? Not necessarily annoy you, but annoy other people.
Does the kind of event matter?
No, just an event where there's a gathering of people.
So something that you do that would annoy other people?
Yeah, not necessarily. Maybe it'll annoy. I don't think it would annoy you. No, you wouldn't care, but it would annoy other people.
It's something antisocial.
Like
be on your phone. Or not get up out of your seat and interact with other tables.
I'll give you one more guess.
Something antisocial. Is it, I'm just doing this for the sake of people not having to sit there and look at me thinking.
Yeah.
Is it that you don't introduce yourself?
Oh, close.
All right, tell me.
So,
I'm just, honestly, all those were things that I do. So I would just, I'm like, that probably.
They're good guesses. And it would be something I do. And then, see, I think maybe event was the wrong word to use. But basically, I've been caught out recently by people that I interact with at the gym, right? That I never say bye when I leave.
Oh, yeah, I know this about you, though. Yeah. But I like it.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's great. I want to be more like that.
There's been multiple occasions where I'm about to leave, and then I get yelled at. Is maybe gives the wrong impression, but I get yelled at for not saying bye, and I don't understand what the big deal is. Cause for me, my thinking is that at least the way how I use the climbing gym. Is like normally, there'll be regular people that you see or whatever, and then you're climbing with them. But sometimes, maybe you climb with a group of people, you break off for a bit, you maybe climb by yourself. And in the times where I finish my climbing session and I'm with a group of people, I'll happily say, okay, gonna head off, see ya. Right? But sometimes if I break off and maybe I'm doing something by myself, I'm just gonna pack up and leave. Okay. And then that's gotten me into trouble a couple of times. So I'm wondering, 2025, do I say bye to people?
Okay, so I have so many thoughts about this. The first one is I feel like as soon as you said event, you're right, event changed the vibe slightly for me, but not as much as you think it might have.
I didn't know what would be a better word
I think the main thing I'm getting hung up on, right, is that it depends on the culture, because you're talking about a gym. You're talking really specifically about a climbing gym. I think it's dictated by the culture of the climbing gym. And it sounds like at this climbing gym, every time someone leaves, that person says bye if they're a regular, and you are a regular. That being said, I would do exactly what you do. And I think at a gym in general, regardless if it's climbing or not, it's very typical to just finish your workout and go. If you went with someone, and even if you were leaving separately, but especially if you're leaving together, you tell them that you're going.
Sure, that makes sense.
But if you're going and then the people are just kind of there, especially because a climbing gym, in the times I've gone with you, it's very like people come in and out, you like work out for a bit, you stop, and it's quite big and you move around. It makes sense to leave. But the answer, which I know you're going to hate, is just that if the whole point of you deciding what to do is you want to make sure that other people don't get mad at you and like yell at you, you just have to do what they say, which is them saying, you got to say bye. Even if it's one of those like weird social things where you just have to do it even though you don't want to. But I am on your side. I would not say bye.
Thank you.
And like, you're very welcome. Part of the reason why I say that too is that I'm giving away all my secrets here. At events, so not at a climbing gym, although I probably would do the same if I was a regular there. Especially at events, whether or not I run them, I, as much as possible, try to just leave without saying bye, because you know what it's like. Like, we're ethnic, but even if we weren't, I think it'd still be a problem. Is that if you say bye to everyone, you'll never leave. There are so many times where I'm like at an event, and it has nothing to do with how I feel about the people there.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
absolutely. Let me be clear. Has nothing to do with the people there at all.
It's like it's 9:50, right? And I'm like, got work tomorrow, and I want to go, and I see my out. I look, and there's a door, and there's no one there right now. But if I go and I say bye to one person, it's a whole thing, right? And all I need to do is just grab my bag, just grab my little bag, turn to the right, and take 3 steps, and then I'm free, and I get like an extra half hour of sleep potentially. So like I will always take that out if I can.
All right. Chris and Daniel, if you're listening, I guess I have to clip this and send it to them. You're right.
You do. You're welcome, Chris and Daniel. If I've met you and I forgot it, I'm sorry, but you're welcome that I'm on your side.
One last badger.
Okay.
Yeah. This bloody phone.
It's a phone.
So, this is a Google Pixel 4a.
Not sponsored.
Definitely not going to be sponsored.
Oh, okay. It's a bad thing. Okay, tell me.
This is going to be added to the blacklist. All right.
Oh, you have a blacklist of phones.
Blacklist phones.
Yeah, I haven't asked about this in a while. Okay, tell me.
Apple's on my blacklist.
Yep.
Google is now on my blacklist.
Oh, damn.
Google was supposed to help me with my iPhone, right?
Yeah.
So quick recap. iPhone just broke down out of nowhere. No one would fix it. I ended up fixing it myself.
Yeah.
But I bought a new phone. This phone.
Because iPhone was on the blacklist.
On the blacklist, and I needed a phone real quick. Maybe 2 weeks ago, and this phone has served me quite well for maybe 3-4 years.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I received an email from Google saying, "Oh hey, your battery, very dangerous. It might blow up. Here are your options, right?"
They gave you an ultimatum.
Yeah, basically. We can give you we'll give you $50 US. We'll give you $50 US, and we're also going to give you an update to prevent the battery from blowing up. I was like,
blowing up.
Yeah.
Did they use that phrase?
Okay, no.
I'm just curious. I want to read this email at some point.
But they were saying you need this update to prevent your phone from doing bad things,
whatever
right?
they said. Yeah.
I was like, oh damn. I put on the update because no reasonable person wants a phone to blow up while they're.
Unless you're curious, but yeah.
Sure. I've updated it. This phone lasts for maybe an hour now. They purposely stifled the battery of the phone so that it's not being used at its most maximal capacity, right? So now I've got a bloody phone that only works for an hour.
And they gave you $50?
$50 US, which is $86 Australian. I haven't got the money yet though.
Oh, okay. That's different. But why did they pay you money? Like, in theory, that they're gonna pay you money for what? Like, what was their thing? That we want to give you money as a sorry?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah.
What was the battery like before the update?
It wasn't great, but I mean, at least I could go through like maybe a little less than a day.
And surely at this point you've like looked this up online. You've seen that other people have the same thing. It's a thing.
Everybody's really.
And they sent out these emails to a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
So now I've been looking for a new phone.
Can you like clock it back to an older update? I'm sure you thought of that.
Yes, you can, but it wipes the phone.
No.
Yeah.
So you'd have to back everything, but you wouldn't even be able to access the things you back up. That's brutal.
Yeah.
Do you have any like short lists for phones?
Right now it is. So I'm just like, you know me, I love a good value. So I'm just trying to find best value.
I once remember you describing yourself as a cheap bastard.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think on season 1 of Badgered, so I'm just using your words.
So best value for money right now, I'm considering have you heard of the brand Nothing?
Yes. You know, I swear the reason I asked is I was going to say, I know I like popped the microphone really loudly, sorry I got excited. That is exactly the brand I was going to recommend for you in particular, because I've watched so many, because you know me, I watch tech videos, and every time I see something from the Nothing brand, I'm like, this is made for Kevin. Okay,
So,
interesting. MKBHD?
He did like a roundup of 2024 phones.
Yeah.
And he said the best value for money phone was the Nothing Phone 2A, which I looked it up, looks good. Like I think
I watched that video.
Oh, did you?
We should link it in the show.
I think it was like I've looked it up, Australian dollars. It's only like $3.99, which I think is pretty good for a phone. But then the annoying thing is supposedly they were going to be releasing a new phone soon. So I was like, okay, maybe I hold out for that and then I compare. Because even if I don't end up going for the new phone they released, then the old one's going to be cheaper as well, I imagine.
How long until the new one gets released?
Apparently March later. So I feel like
March is not bad.
Yeah, March is not bad.
March is okay. If it's like more than that, then you're always chasing the upgrade train. Where you're like, I'll wait, maybe something better is always going to come out.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my 3 things that have been badgering me.
This is my standard for friendship from now on. If it takes a podcast to make it happen, I want this level of like, you're catching me up on the minutiae of your life. There's things that I would have heard of even like in our day-to-day when we were working together, but now I've missed out on.
I think this is kind of like I won't do my Waffle Wednesday because I feel like that's my Waffle Wednesday. Do you want to do your Waffle Wednesday and then we'll do my segment?
Easy. Let me just hold on. Okay. My waffle, I had photos that I wanted to show you. So my Waffle Wednesday is, I'll bring it up in a little bit. The thing that has been taking all my thought in the last ever since we recorded is my car dying. And you know my car. I have had my car for a very long time.
Very long time.
It essentially is my first car, and I'm still driving it now all these years later. And the car has just had, in the last like 3 or 4 years, it's a Toyota Prado. Toyotas are notoriously really reliable cars.
Easy to find parts for.
Easy to find parts for if you look after them, and that's a very big if, which will come into play later. If you look after them, then they'll last you forever. My Toyota Prado has just had a string of small and large annoyances and problems over the last maybe 2 or 3 years, where you just have this kind of sunken cost fallacy, right? Where you keep putting money into a thing, and then you're like, okay, now it's good, and then something else breaks in the car. And you're like, but I just spent like $1,000 on this thing. Like, am I going to go through the whole hassle of trying to like, sell it or like look for a replacement where I can just spend another $300? And then technically this mechanic is telling me that this is going to be good for the next 5 years if I just do this thing, which is obviously their prerogative to say that because it means they make more money. And as someone who doesn't know much about my car, I have to trust other people and see what they say. So I'm going to show you a photo.
Yeah.
And you have to, it's not the one I sent you. I'm going to show you a photo, then you have to tell me what you think is, I lost my train of thought. You have to tell me what you would do in this scenario.
Okay.
Okay. So, actually I might start with, I'll talk while I'm doing this.
Okay, we can cut this part out.
Oh, okay. Actually, as a side note, one of the things I love so much about my thing is I can just search car and then it comes up. All right. So I think I'll start with, did I send you a short video?
No, I remember you sending a photo of the tow truck.
All right. So this is the first photo I took from this scenario. Yeah. So this happened on the 13th of January. This was 10 days ago. I was in the city, driving, visiting the Australian Museum. Not sponsored. I'm sure they have a lot of money. Please give us money. So I'm there waiting for a parking spot. And I'm waiting for this woman in front of me to kind of leave. And she's like, it's just going to be a while because I've got to change my baby's nappy. And I'm like, no stress. I'm here. Please don't worry about it. And I'm kind of I'm sitting in the middle of the road in the car. And it's kind of a hot day. But that's not, I got the aircon on. It's not a huge deal. So I'm like sitting there waiting for a while, probably like 5 minutes, which is a long time to be in the middle of a road. And, cars are kind of going past me and I'm starting to get anxious. And I'm just like waiting. Eventually this woman's going to leave. And then the car pops.
Whose car?
My car.
Pops.
I hear, so like 3 things happen all at once. The car pops.
Yeah.
I feel it jolt a little bit. I hear the engine go almost off and then keep going.
Yeah.
And then everything is fine. And I'm like, that's strange. And then I look outside the window, this way because we're in Australia. And then I took this photo later, on the floor, I see this. Hopefully this picture is up on the... So this color, all this kind of like dull gray is the road. And then this was underneath where my car was. So what I see from my perspective is these lines coming down. I see it going down the street.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, and the car's still on and whatever. So then I park it into the spot. And then
at this point, the lady's left.
At this point in the interim, the lady's left. And then I'm like, surely that was from me. And what I hoped, what I was praying had happened is somehow I had gone over a water bottle and the water bottle popped.
That is like peak
Copium?
denial. Yeah, peak
I was
copium.
so deep in denial, man. So I'm like, and I was like, I even was so deep in denial that I started looking for a bottle. Because like, someone like was annoyed that I was waiting in the middle of the road, so they like threw a bottle, and then somehow I went over it, and then it popped. Surely it's that and nothing in the engine, right? Because I had just gotten something, the air compressor fixed, which was like such a whole ordeal, and it's only been 2 weeks since that happened. Anyway, so all that happened, and then I like turned the car off, and I opened it, and I looked at the kind of liquid coolant, so the place where the coolant for the radiator is supposed to be. I'll show you a photo of it later, and it was completely empty.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, okay, but this is just plastic.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the plastic, there's like a hole in it, and then somehow that popped because it was hot outside and it came out. So I called a mechanic. This like guy came out with his son who I taught, who was in a workshop that I think we ran together. It was a whole thing. Anyway, this older Arab guy.
Happy birthday, man.
Surprise!
Hey,
what the hell are you doing?
lucky you were sitting down, kid.
You man. Trying to record here.
His idea.
Guys, you interrupted the recording.
My battery.
How scary it is to see your face.
It's like a nightmare. Oh, he clutched his chest. You jumped like you did it. Kev, you happy when hopping on? I had to come here.
That's nice to see you.
Yeah, the podcast out here.
You're in the middle of recording.
Are you breathing deeply?
Yeah, my heart rate just spiked up now.
Vladimir's on his way upstairs.
Very nice to see you again.
Well, maybe you can come out.
Yeah,
Let's come out. If you need to like pause the recording or something, and then we can come back.
Hey, did that get recorded?
Yes.
Make sure everything's recorded.
Alright.